Broken Monsters is your next novel that you're releasing. It's coming out in July.
1st of July.
That's exciting.
I know, the launch will be at the Book Lounge.
Okay, awesome. I know I recently saw the 3 different covers for the book, and they all look amazing.
I know.
Now, again, back to creative say.
Yeah.
Do you have creative say, or do you let the artist just go wild with their interpretation?
You know, I've had a long history working with Jerry Hi-Fi, who does my South African covers, and we'll sit down, we'll have a big brainstorming meeting, and I'll give him all my ideas, and I'll give him my reference photos that I took of Detroit, and I'll say, I think the cover should be like this, and he listens attentively and nods and takes notes, and we look at other covers that we like, and then he ignores everything I've said and comes up with something more beautiful than I could imagine.
Amazing.
You know, and that's why designers are, you know, that's why they're the cover designers. It's because they're really, really good at their jobs. So I do have say, and I do have input, and I put forward a lot of really, really, you know, things that I found interesting, or things that I think are particular themes in the book that they might want to pick up on. But ultimately, it's up to the cover designer.
Yeah.
And also, it's also up to the publisher. I mean, the covers are radically different. They look like they're for different books.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. But that's because the publishers know their market, and they know what will sell in that particular market.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
You can't.
Do you have a favorite one?
No.
No? Okay.
Definitely not. No.
Now, tell me about Broken Monsters.
Broken Monsters is a very strange book. It's set in Detroit. It's about the kind of birth and death of the American dream. And there's a killer who is leaving very disturbing bodies around the city. He's kind of almost creating these very artistic vignettes with bodies. And the first body that's found is half boy, half deer. And the detective, Gabriella Versado, who's investigating this, she's never seen anything like this before. And, you know, there are kind of 5 lives circling around the murders. And it's how those lives are going to start to come unraveled, and what's going to happen to them.
Now, you mentioned you went to Detroit to do research for the book. What did you do while you were there?
I did everything. I worked in a soup kitchen for the day. I went partying till 6 o'clock in the morning, till the sun came up, you know, with cool, you know, there's such an amazing arts community in Detroit. You know, we went into abandoned buildings and visited the Packard plant, and, you know, all the typical Detroit stuff that people do. But people see Detroit, much like people see Hillbrow, as this just desolate ruin and a symbol of everything that's wrong with this country.
Yeah.
But people live there. And that's what I was interested in. I was interested in who are the people who live there, what are their lives like, you know, what actually makes Detroit amazing and exciting. And the art scene in Detroit is just phenomenal. So it was really cool. I also hung out with, you know, Detroit homicide detectives and theater geeks, you know, because the detective's daughter is studying drama at school. So I went to a teenage production. I sat down and interviewed these teenagers at this Detroit high school, and we had the best chats. It was just amazing.
That sounds amazing.
It was really fun.
Now, what made you want to tell the story of the American dream from here in South Africa?
Because I think it's a universal story. It wasn't just the American dream. You know, it's the collapse of civilization, really.
Yeah.
And Detroit, to a lot of people, Detroit is kind of like the Parthenon. You know, the central train station in Detroit is known as Detroit's Parthenon. And there has been a move to actually have some of the ruins preserved to show us what the death of civilization looks like. But it's hard to kill civilization. We're tough.
Yeah.
And we're interesting, and I was interested in that. And I was also interested in kind of, you know, the collective unconscious and the internet as our collective unconscious, and maybe more metaphorical dreams as well.
Well, that comes out in July. Are you working on anything else at the moment?
I'm getting some new pitches together for my agent. I've got a comic pitch sitting with DC Vertigo at the moment, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
I read a tweet you wrote about pitching to your agent, where you told someone about it, and they were, oh, it's just sending an email.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no, it is writing a query letter to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know, so if I can give some writerly advice, if you do want to query an agent, first Google the hell out of it. There are a lot of really great websites. Talk about who you are, what your book is about, make it short and sexy as hell, and like make it a great elevator pitch. And just write a very simple, wonderful, smart, entertaining, engaging email. No pressure.
When you say short, how short?
You know, like 5 paragraphs max. Wow. You know, they don't want your life story.
No.
They want to know why, if there's anything interesting about you, like maybe you're ex-SAS, and that qualifies you uniquely to write this book about gardening. You know, it's gardening by SAS methods. Why this hasn't been seen before, why you chose them as an agent. Spell their name right, for God's sake. And if they're interested, can you send them the first 3 chapters?
Amazing.
That's it. It's very simple. And what Joey Hi-Fi picked up in the tweet was that, he said, well, so it's basically just sending an email which makes sense. I'm like, yes, but it's often quite hard to write an email which makes sense.
It's true.
Yeah.